Let me tell you how investing can help you out and how it can help you grow your network and why you should start investing as soon as possible. Let me tell you a little story. I went a whole month unemployed. I got laid off from my job. I just started working this past week. I started working again full time. But before that, I went a whole month unemployed. That was the first time ever since I started working ever since I started working a full-time job since I was 16. I'm currently 22. That was the first time I actually took a time off from work. Not even during COVID I was off. I was actually working full-time during COVID. So by the end of every month, I budget how much money I made, how much I spent, and I also calculate my net worth by the end of every month. So I got laid off late May. I went all of June unemployed, right? So I would have thought that my net worth would have actually gone down since I wasn't working anymore. But thankfully, I have made some very smart decisions years ago or months ago. And I started investing my money around 2019, 2020. That's when I started investing my money. And it has compounded over time. In the previous 3 years, I let all that time to compound. So I will give you an example. I was estimating for the end of the month that my net worth would actually go down because I also took a vacation. I took a vacation to Mexico, and I went to a little beach resort. So I was thinking my money was gonna go down. I also lended some money to some family members, and I was actually thinking I was gonna be down. So I come home. I start at the end of the June. I start doing all my finances. I started calculating my net worth. I obviously didn't have no income, right? So my expenses were obviously more than my income. I didn't have no income. I was off the whole month. So I started calculating how much I spent that month, how much I spent on the vacation and that money I lent out. So as I started calculating, and I started calculating my net worth, and I compared my net worth from the previous month to this month, I calculated my net worth from the end of May to the end of June, and I realized that it didn't change. So I went back and I started punching in my calculator. I thought I did something wrong. So when I go in and I check, and it didn't, it actually, it only decreased, if I tell you the exact number, it only decreased 0.04%, not even a full percentage, it decreased. So it didn't even dent my net worth. And I thought I was going to be down minimum 3-5%. Or maybe that's too much. 3-5%, around there, right? I thought I was going to be negative, like I was going to be lower than our previous thought. So I go and I start looking at my investments. And in that month that I was off, that month that I was not getting any income, my investments actually made up for the money that I spent on that vacation and that money and on my bills that I've paid for that whole month. And on top of that, the money I lend out. So all of that money that I spent in that month was made up by my investments, and I didn't even realize it. When I started doing my calculating my net worth, I was really excited. I was like, I can't believe my investments made up for the money that I spent. So that's when we come back again, where y'all need to start investing. I'm making money while I was off, and I didn't even realize it. I was letting my money compound. In a month, I made up that money that I spent. And that's big. That's big. And that's something powerful. That's little crumbles compared to what I could possibly get in the future. So that's why I preach and I tell, especially as these young people, get into investing, start learning investing, and be consistent with it, because it could really pay off. And I've seen it. I'm firsthand. I saw how it worked. I saw the money it made up. I was amazed. I was truly amazed. Especially since I had the whole month off, I was just genuinely amazed of what my portfolio could do. And I treat it as a set it and forget it. I literally forgot. I'm not those type of people that be checking the portfolio every day or every week. I check it once in a while, and when I do my deposits and when I start investing my percent of my paycheck, that's when I actually go in there and check it. But I usually just deposit it every month or so. So y'all start investing, get into investing as early as possible, even if it's 10, 20, 30, $50 that you could put a month. But put something every month and let it compound over time. And like always, y'all stay on the grind.